Hello everybody. Welcome to today's webinar for Legend Real Estate Trust. My name is Amanda, and I'm going to be your host of the webinar today. I'm also the one of the founders and the owners of Legend Real Estate Trust. If you've got any questions that are coming in, feel free to drop them in the chat, or if you prefer, you can also use the Q&A feature as well. We will check throughout the presentation, so don't be shy. Go ahead and interact with us as you see fit, and if you've got any questions along the way. Okay, so here is our disclaimer before we go ahead and get started into today's webinar. Just want to make sure that everybody understands that, like all investments, this one also comes with risk. We do have an offering memorandum available for everybody's review. I want to introduce you to the Legend Real Estate Trust team. So we are a lean and mean team at Legend. Starting on the left-hand side, we have Christina Marshall. She is our marketing manager. So she heads anything with social media, email communications. If you clicked on any of our advertising or social media posts, then Christina is the artist behind all of those pieces. So thank you, Christina, for being a part of Legend. And then coming across is Sam in Investor Relations. She's our Investor Relations Manager. If you have phoned into Legend or you're texting in with Legend, then you are communicating with Sam, scheduling appointments and just following up and bringing our investors through their onboarding. Sam is the smiling face on the other end of the phone and often booking Zoom calls with those who are interested to invest into real estate. And then myself, hi, hello, I'm one of the co-founders. And then to my left in the picture is Marty Gordon, my husband and partner in life and business partner as well. So where I head operations and day-to-day business and direct investor relationships, Marty is very much focused on acquisition side of things and sourcing new properties that will go into Legend Real Estate Trust. So there you have it, our lean and mighty team. So Legend here brings you 20 years of investing experience between myself and Marty. So we've been at this for quite a long time. We have seen many different market shifts over the years. We have successfully navigated landlord-tenant rule changes over these years, CMHC rule changes, just general market cycle changes, have navigated through some housing crashes and dips and recoveries and booms, etc. We went through the pandemic without much trouble from an investing perspective as well. And now we are still navigating through, current headlines and such. Now, I share that with you because 20 years of experience is not somebody who's just coming new to the table. We have been in the trenches over all of these years, and we have never lost $1 of investor capital throughout our entire career. And we're really proud of that. And this, really comes from applying that experience, that real life experience. And if you're just getting started into real estate, we've been there and we've done a lot, and we've actually coached hundreds of people on how to successfully invest in real estate as well. So I bring to the table senior business leadership. We've partnered with hundreds of happy investors over these years, many of which have continued to invest into our projects outside of Legend, and they've also come into Legend REIT as well. We've provided professional coaching and real estate education as well. And then Marty has a background as a carpenter. So he has 20 plus years of construction experience, is really great with the property selection. I mean, he drills down into these markets and really having a look at the numbers, and does a fantastic job underwriting our deals and selecting properties. he's incredible with the negotiations as well. So I don't so much like the negotiating of properties. Marty really likes this, but he really is meticulous in all things that he does and the value that he gives to Legend on a regular basis. And then together, we've got a track record of transforming distressed properties over the years and getting them to become turnkey apartment buildings and just really turning them into high performing assets that are producing incredible returns for all of our investors and partners who are also involved. Marty and I have a blend of this practical knowledge and emotional intelligence as well to be able to manage these projects from small to mid to larger scale projects. Um, and it's just something that we have really honed in on over these years. We're very passionate about helping other real estate investors continue to grow without that burnout, like what we experienced earlier in our careers, and just letting you know that you don't need to sacrifice family or career or even your time in order to invest into real estate. So our why really comes down to this little guy in the center of the picture. So this is our son. His name is Montgomery. And the reason why we invest into real estate is so that we've got more time outside of our jobs, outside of our careers, outside of real estate, that we really want to spend the majority of our time with family, with friends, just doing the things that we truly love in life. And of course, to create that multi generational wealth as well. So I'm sure like many of you who are watching this would love to feel, more secure from that multi-generational wealth perspective and just taking control over your own financial future, not relying on, government pension and government plans to help you out through retirement, that your retirement truly is your own responsibility. And taking control of your future and making good decisions now to plant those seeds can be really effective when you're utilizing real estate investing, because at the end of the day, if you've got money taken care of, this is what gives you freedom in life. So ultimately helping as many families as possible to achieve, goals that are similar to ours, and to just really help other people achieve that time freedom. And of course, the money freedom is what Marty and I are really trying to do, and the Legend team as well. So for today's webinar, here is our agenda of some items that we're going to go through together. So again, if you've got any questions as we go, feel free to pop them into the chat. I see that Sam and Christina are sharing some really great links and resources as well, so that you guys can get familiar. Also, if you want to be booking a one-on-one call with me, then please go ahead. Sam, if you want to drop it in the main chat there as well, my Calendly link, if anybody wants to connect with me one-on-one for a strategy call, I've opened up some additional time slots in my calendar between now and the end of the month, so that we can get as many investors in for this incredible opportunity that I will be sharing shortly. So the agenda, we're going to talk about how Legend makes real estate investing accessible to as many Canadians as possible while keeping investing hands-free. Completely passive investing is what we offer at Legend. And I will share with you, potential returns and our growth model, and just how Legend is structured, and of course, how you can get involved if this is something that suits your goals. We'll talk about diversifying your portfolio with confidence so that you don't have all eggs in one basket. And of course, what really sets Legend apart? What makes Legend Real Estate Trust different than some other investing opportunities? And of course, next steps if you're ready to get involved and take action today. Because it is true that you do not need to choose between building wealth, and living well, that you absolutely can do both of these things at the same time. So I want to introduce you to 144 Lucan Avenue in Waterloo, Ontario. So, by investing into Legend, you get to invest into a growing portfolio of properties. So, this is the current project that we're working on. We're expected to close this project in the coming weeks. It's kind of like a last call, if you will, to get investors to come into this one before we close on this project. But I really wanted to just highlight some of the, beautiful points of this building in particular and why we've selected this property to be our flagship property. So 144 Lucan Avenue, I've got some beautiful pictures up here on the screen. Sam, Christina, let me know if my screen share is working. You should see a slide right now with some pictures of the Lucan property. So this building is a 60-unit apartment building in Waterloo, Ontario. The first 3 stories have been renovated, and then the top 3 stories are actually brand new. It's an addition that's been put onto the building. So what we have is this fully renovated, turnkey, beautiful asset is what we will be closing on. It's already built, it's already renovated, it's tenanted, and it'll be cash flowing on closing. So taking a deeper dive, a closer look into the Lucan property, you can see here that these finishes are just absolutely beautiful. So, everything is modern, into the gray and the white finishes is what the tenants are looking for in an effort to, of course, attract that higher quality tenant, attract that higher rental rate that you can charge, and of course, retain your tenants because they truly are your customers. So, some of the incredible features here at the property, as you can see, is beautiful. But they've got these bright open kitchens in all of the units. They've got these gorgeous, bright, clean, modern finishes in the bathrooms as well. But we've also got in-suite laundry for each of the units. The units have balconies as well, and they're super bright. There's lots of windows and storage even within their units. It's almost described as condo-like living is um, how this has been designed. And there's dishwashers in the units as well. Air conditioning is built in to each of them too. So those are some really big highlights that I understand of being a property manager for over 20 years and advertising many different listings, working with hundreds of tenants over these years, that these are some of the main points that tenants are truly looking for when they're comparing your rental listing to other rental listings that are available on the market. So Christina has actually dropped the current rental listing for this property into the chat. So I encourage everybody to just go ahead and click on that. When you go to the rental listing, you'll be able to see floor plans of the rental suites. You'll be able to see all of the pictures that are available. You can do a 3D tour. You can have a closer look into the location of this building as well. And what you'll find is that this one is ticking all of those boxes in terms of a location perspective and really what tenants are desiring in a place that they want to live, and for it to be close to where they work as well is super important. So when we look at, the bottom pictures here, I've included a picture of the front hall lobby, that we've got the elevator there as soon as you can enter into the building because it is a 6-story building. We've got a secure delivery system as well. So everybody's ordering stuff to shop online these days, and tenants might be wondering, how do I get my deliveries in a secure fashion? We've got secure delivery system at this building. And we've also got a facial recognition security system for them to even enter into the property as well. So a lot of these high-tech features cater to the tenants who live in Waterloo. This is very much a booming tech city, is Waterloo, and the tenant profile that we're really trying to target. You can see from outside, I've included some outside pictures, that the property is beautifully landscaped, and the investor eye is going to go for the parking spaces as well and say, okay, is parking available for tenants? And the answer is yes. So we've got I think it's 53 parking spaces for our 60-unit building. So there's ample parking that is available at our property that, again, we charge for our tenants to just boost that overall income. So again, just really honing in on these highlights, that the fully renovated units have happened between 2022 all the way up until this year of 2025. This is a great neighborhood that tenants are really looking to live in, and there's a cute little park just at the end of the street. Now, from a transportation standpoint, we've got a great walk score here. We've got 83 out of 100 for our walk score, and transit score is 58 as well. So I believe it's a 9-minute walk to get to a train station and just a few steps to a bus stop. And our bike score is 89 here as well. So from overall transportation and accessibility for tenants, this one is, again, fitting the cliche saying of the location, location, location. Um, we're also just a few minutes from the University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier University, Conestoga College as well. Several different hospitals are within a very close radius to this building. And we're just a few minutes from Google headquarters in Waterloo. So again, if you're clicking on that rental advertising, you can see exactly the location. There's a map there as well that you can zoom out and just get a better feel for the overall location of this building. And again, the reason why that matters as an investor is for just overall growth value at the building that you'll be investing into, but to attract and retain those tenants, those good quality tenants that, of course, we're looking for. Now, the vacancy rates at this building, they're running it at anywhere, it ranges because it's a 60-unit property, of course. But currently we're running it at a 5% vacancy, which is completely in line with this particular location. It's dropped down, as low as 1%. It's been completely filled at one time as well. So, we're running our numbers and our pro forma between, about 2-3% is realistic for this particular property, because this really is a place that tenants want to live because it's close to their work and all of the amenities in the area. Again, those building features is the paid parking that we've got available for tenants. There is a ton of paid storage that's available for tenants as well, including bike storage, which is becoming more and more popular and important to the tenant profile. We've got a gym, kind of yoga room that's on site as well for the tenants to really enjoy at their leisure with a fob system. Now, this is again included in kind of the sale of them signing up for their lease, that it's a great feature that sets our building apart in this area. And that secured parcel delivery that I talked about, and the facial recognition security system as well. So overall, 144 Lucan Ave in Waterloo, Ontario is a 60-unit turnkey, absolute beautiful asset that we will be putting into Legend REIT in the coming weeks. And this is a last call for investors to come in before this property actually closes in the coming weeks. So here's what that looks like if you are interested to subscribe into the trust. This is how Legend is structured, that investors have the opportunity to subscribe into Class A trust units at $10.70 per unit. Our minimum investment is $10,000. Our targeted annual returns are 15 to 20%, which includes an 8% cash flow payment. Now, we're quite flexible on the cash flow as well, that if you wish to receive your cash flow on a quarterly basis, you can do that. Or if you want to participate in the DRIP, the dividend reinvestment program, this just means that if you don't want cash flow, you can reinvest that cash flow into the fund with a 2% incentive as well. So the choice is yours. You can also do 50-50, and you can change your mind into the future as well. That we've kept cash flow options flexible to suit your needs, to suit your investing goals. Now, you can use cash, of course, to invest into a private REIT like Legend, but we are also RSP eligible. So that means if you've got our RSP, TFSA, LIRA, any Canadian registered account, you have the opportunity to self-direct your registered funds and invest into Legend. So, I always say to investors, just ask yourself, are your RSPs currently performing at 15 to 20% annual returns? And if not, might you consider the opportunity of, taking control of your registered accounts and self-directing them into Legend? So again, it's not cashing them out. You get to keep all of those tax shelter benefits. And it's just a bit of paperwork. Our team helps you to get that set up, and you're self-directing into a fund for those targeted returns instead. Now, the reason why we are so accessible to as many Canadians as possible is that we've opened up our fund to eligible status investors and, of course, accredited investors. So most private REITs are strictly for accredited investors, but Legend has opened it up to eligible investors. Now, our friends in Quebec, if you're from Quebec, you must be accredited to participate. But all other provinces and territories, if you can achieve an eligible status, then you're able to participate in our REIT. If you're not sure about what that means, we've actually got a page for this in our investor presentation. So Christina, Sam, if you can make sure that you drop the link to our investor slot or our investor deck in the chat, then we want to make sure that that's at your fingertips. Now, when you book a call with me, we can talk about what that looks like, and our EMD Equivesto would go through that with you as well. So don't let it hold you back. We'll have a look at that with you, but we have opened it up to as many Canadian investors as possible. Now, talking about diversifying your property or your portfolio, excuse me, with confidence, is that most people, when they think about diversifying their portfolio, I like to think of it as like a pie chart. What are your percentages? How are you going to split up your portfolio so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket? And I do think it's a smart way to invest. Now, based on your own risk tolerance and your investing experience and just overall budget, you as the investor need to determine what are your percentages, what are your pieces of the pie, how would you like to spread out your investing budget to best suit your investing goals and your needs. Now, when we look at the different categories of, typical or traditional investments, we're looking at, of course, cash. It's always good to have a little bit of money in the bank, but you're not going to be making much of a return on cash, and keeping too much cash on hand, well, you're not likely to be keeping pace with inflation either. We, commonly invest into bonds, which are fixed income securities. This really means that you're lending money to the government or, another company. Or you can invest into stocks and shares, which are equities, which you actually become a part owner in a company and you invest that way. Or mutual funds or investment funds is a collection of investments like the stocks and the bonds. So it's just a collection. So those are, traditional publicly traded investments, and then plus cash, which most people are familiar with this type of investing. Now, where real estate comes in is that there's a couple buckets within real estate investing, that you can own a commercial property, a residential property, you can own land, you can invest directly into mortgages, you can invest into equity or developments and so on. That is available to anybody. You can go buy a property and you can get yourself involved. Now, what is not commonly known is the private REIT sector of investing, or private securities. And this is the category that Legend falls into, that we are a private REIT or a private security. And this is an investment vehicle that can own or operate, finance income generating real estate. It is not publicly traded and it is not listed on the stock exchange, but we're doing our best to get the word out there that you guys do have access to private real estate just like a REIT. So balancing out your portfolio among these options is what I would suggest for all investors. And if you want to have a closer look at that, then again, book one of those strategy calls with me. Let's have a look at your investing experience. And if it makes sense to just include real estate or in the private REIT section, if that makes sense to, include that to your own portfolio. Now, we believe that a private REIT is a superior option to all other investing opportunities. And it's not to say that you shouldn't invest in the others. You should. You should always have balance. But we do think that it is superior. So, some of the benefits that make it a great choice to invest is that it's not publicly traded and that you've got potential for your higher returns as well. And we've got tax-friendly structures. It requires no time from the investor themselves, and it offers portfolio diversification within diversification. So if you're investing into a REIT, it's usually a group of properties. So you're getting diversity within your diverse investment. With Legend specifically, our investors subscribe into those Class A trust units. So that beautiful Lucan property that I was just highlighting, you wouldn't just be investing into the Lucan property, you would be investing into future acquisitions, a growing portfolio with Legend as well. And again, the highlight is that you can use any Canadian registered account in order to invest. So we've got flexible options. You can also use a combination of accounts to achieve the minimum investment or to achieve your investing or your cash flow goals as well. And you do have access to that growing portfolio to benefit from the equity growth over time. So you're investing into real properties, real assets, and that potential equity growth. And we target quarterly distributions with those flexible cash flow options as well, or some specific benefits to Legend. Now, what sets Legend apart is that we are acquiring that multifamily property in a high demand Ontario University city with extremely low vacancy rates. So that Lucan property that I just highlighted. This is a stabilized cash flowing asset that has already undergone a full repositioning. And it truly is a turnkey investment that we're going to be closing on in the coming weeks. And then we're going to be able to run it and start to optimize it even further. It's located within walking distance of major employers, education hubs, transit, healthcare, etc. The location of that property is just incredible. And we do have limited space available for investors to come in. As I showed, we're a small and mighty team, but we are willing to open up some more time slots from now until the end of the month. That if you wanted to get in within the next couple of weeks, we will absolutely make that happen for you. And we've got, capacity for roughly 10 new investors to onboard between now and the end of the month. And although we're looking for an average commitment around $50,000, our minimum investment is $10,000 to come into Legend. So again, making it as accessible to as many Canadians as possible is something that's very important to Marty and I. And our unit price just grew by 7% earlier this year. So we went to market initially at $10 per unit and we did a 7% increase, which is in line with our targeted returns. So now again is your opportunity to get in before our next scheduled increase as well. So, we encourage you that now is the best time to, of course, benefit from investing into real estate. Yesterday was the best time. Today is the next best time to always invest in real estate. So here's my offer to you. This is a real vetted opportunity where you can partner with us and you can own a piece of multifamily assets within a growing portfolio of properties without ever becoming a landlord. You don't need to qualify for a mortgage. You don't need to source a large down payment. You don't even need to select the market or the properties or do any of the work or any of the landlording. We take care of everything for you. This truly is a passive, hands-free investment for all of our investors, so that we want to offer that peace of mind. Marty and I are the owners, the operators, the trustees of the company. And with that, we bring our 20 years of experience of real estate investing and coaching real estate, and we apply all of our learnings. So, this is the benefit to all of our legend investors, that we say to you guys, listen, you don't have to go at this alone. You don't have to select properties on your own. You don't need to be a landlord to be a real estate investor. Let us do all of the heavy lifting. Let us do all of the work for you. You can simply invest from that hands-free passive position while enjoying those targeted returns of 15 to 20%. We structured this REIT with investors in mind to benefit from our 20 years of experience. And again, we've never lost $1 of investor capital in our entire career. We do the heavy lifting, again, from the underwriting, acquisition, if there's renovations, management, reporting, and so on. And you get that equity piece and, of course, peace of mind to invest. Marty and I have remained accessible to all of our Legend investors. We also have a great community, the Legend Inner Circle group as well. So, Sam or Christina, if you want to drop the link so that anybody can join our free Facebook group, and be a part of our community of thousands of other real estate investors. This is how we keep in touch with investors as well. You can follow us across all social media channels, which is fantastic. So the next steps, if you are interested, or I've even piqued your curiosity to get involved with Legend, let's book a strategy call. Let's chat one-on-one. I've opened up my calendar for the next week or so we can get as many investors in before the end of the month. Let's have a chat. Our calendar link is in the chat here as well. So just go ahead and click on that link. And if you're interested to just explore more about who Legend is, what we're all about, you can visit us at our website. I've got our phone number and our email address up here on the screen as well. But, certainly next step, if you are, curious, book that strategy call with me. It's a no pressure call. The call will be with me. It's not somebody else. There isn't a surprise. So it'll be with myself, and we can talk about what you've done for real estate investing in the past. You might be a very experienced investor, and I would love to talk shop with you and see if Legend is a great fit within your portfolio. Or if you're brand new and you're just dipping your toe into the water and you're curious to know how all of this works. I've worked with hundreds of brand new investors as well. So, don't be shy. Let's connect one-on-one. And then we can talk about, how and if this suits your needs, if this fits in line with your investing goals. So I'm going to leave this up on the screen here so that everybody can have access to these resources. And I'll just do a double check. Does anybody have any questions before we sign off for the afternoon? So I don't think I see any questions in the chat, which is no problem at all. Okay, well, I guess that could mean one thing, that we've done a great job about sharing our information with you clearly about what Legend can do for you in terms of that money freedom and the time freedom. So again, that next step is to go ahead and book that strategy call with me. And I'll leave the room open for a few more minutes to make sure that you have the opportunity to grab all of the links. But let's get in touch, and we will go from there. So thank you everybody for being here with us on this beautiful afternoon, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon one-on-one. Bye for now.